There is 7 shoulder presses that you guys need to be doing on your shoulder days if you want to develop full round shoulders, along with get the benefits of mobility and all those sort of things, guys. I firstly need to give a big shout out to Mind Pump because those guys dropped a podcast episode recently discussing this topic, and all around they have such good content that's so informative that you guys should definitely check out if you're trying to expand your knowledge in the gym and just get better all around. But without further ado, guys, let's get into this video. So the first press you guys need to be doing is the traditional standing strict overhead press, also known as a military press. Of course, you want to be standing for this exercise because it involves more stability from the whole body and is more functional for in the real world, because let's be honest, guys, you're not going to be lifting things from the back. Most times you're going to be lifting it from the front. In terms of the range of motion, something that I kind of been neglecting over the years is bringing it down for the full range of motion. It feeds your ego to be able to lift heavier, but you guys want to get the most out of the exercise, so bring it around your lower chest, below the chin at least. And the reason why you want to do that, guys, is because if you do it without the full range of motion, you're going to start to strengthen your scapula in a kind of frozen static position, which could lead to a lack of stability and also can lead to injury when you start to go past that motion of a 90-degree. In terms of your biceps as well, you want to keep them in line with your ears. Now, something I used to do, which I've kind of drifted away from, is pushing my body forward on this exercise. It puts a lot of pressure on your spine and on your neck, which isn't good, because at the end of the day, guys, we want to avoid injury. We want to get the most out of the exercise specific to our shoulders. The second shoulder press that you guys need to be doing is a one-arm kettlebell press, which is one exercise that I have never done prior to today, but I definitely really like it because it does work your body differently. The weight rests on your forearm, which causes you to stabilize the weight differently than you would with an overhead press or any dumbbell press. It also allows you to rotate and twist as you're pressing, which allows more mobility in the shoulder, which also leads to helping to strengthen your rotator muscles in your shoulder. The range of motion is so deep and so full. The squeeze at the top, because of the way the weight is placed on your forearm, allows you to get that full straight extension, which is great for developing the shoulders. And it's also nice to try new activities and new exercises because it does create a bit of stimulus because of it being new, kind of shocking the body. So always encompassing new exercise, always beneficial as long as they're proactive. Third press that you guys need to be doing is a push press. Now, unlike a strict press, you use leg drive to get the weight up, which allows you to use more weight, which equates to more stability and strength. It's a power movement, which is extremely beneficial because if you're pushing something overhead or moving in that direction, you're not typically keeping the rest of your body stationary, which allows you to recruit more muscles in the body, getting more out of the exercise. And expressing anything with more velocity and acceleration leads to stimulating the muscles in a completely different way, which, as said, guys, is going to shock the body and create more muscle growth. It's a good way to strengthen the recruitment pattern, but also be able to stabilize it properly and control it, which is going to allow you to do all your different sort of press movements better because you are going to be able to stabilize a lot more. It really emphasized triple extension. Now, for you guys that aren't aware of triple extension, it's the stimulus extension of the hips, knees, and ankle joints, which carries over to jumping, explosive movements, and getting out of certain positions and stances. And it's not something that people typically train, so it's always good to encompass this. And recently I did pull my groin by jumping on a box, so perhaps encompassing these in my workouts a little bit more, allow my body to be more acquainted with doing jumping movements like that. It gets the whole body to communicate together, which translates to more muscle fiber recruitment, which will lead to getting more of the exercise and, of course, getting more gains. Fourth pressing movement that you guys need to be doing is a Z press. Now, I've never done a Z press, and today was the first day that I tried it. Shout out Mind Pump for putting me on a new exercise. Any new exercise in general, guys, that is, of course, optimal and proactive, is going to stimulate your muscles a little bit differently because your body is new to it. Basically, with this exercise, you're sitting on the floor with your legs straight out to the sides, and you have a barbell on your chest, and similarly to any other pressing movement, you just push it up. And of course, you want to make sure that you are doing the full range of motion. I need to emphasize that because that's something that I did not do for the longest time, which is, of course, bringing the bar below your chin. I would say at least. This particular exercise, you have to be really stable and have a strong posture or you're going to fall over. And also, it's good because you can't dig your feet in to engage your legs to get a bit more strength out of the exercise. It's really emphasizing your shoulders, and it's a good isolation for the shoulders. However, you are using your stabilizing muscles, so it is a compound movement. It's great for addressing issues with bracing and stability that people have. I found that doing this exercise, I felt a lot more stable when I would stand up afterwards, so definitely give this one a try. Not easy, and start off with low weight, and make sure you use the hammer strength bars if you do plan on using a specific weight. The fifth pressing movement that you guys need to be doing, and let's be honest, you guys are probably already doing it, is the seated dumbbell press. Guys, with this exercise, it's very good because sitting down kind of removes your core and stabilizer muscles from being used, and also your legs from being used. So you can really just focus on your deltoids, which is good because at the end of the day, if you're hitting shoulders, you're hitting pressing movements, you're probably aiming to get just your shoulders into play. Typically speaking, I personally hit these on my shoulder days, so of course you want to focus on your deltoids and stuff like that. It's also very good because you are just doing an individual load on both hands. It's unilateral. You get to get a really understanding of whether or not you have imbalances in one side or whatnot. And I do notice on my presses that one side does come up a little bit quicker. So in order to address that, I need to make sure that I'm evening out the load on both hands by doing unilateral exercises, which is why this one's really great. And all around, it just allows you to identify any dysfunctions or which side needs a little bit more strength or whatnot when you're doing it. And you know, you can get a lot of depth on this as well. And I do recommend, similarly to the regular presses, to make sure you guys are emphasizing the depth. Bring it a little bit below your chin. You don't really need to bop it off your chest. I mean, I do typically, but everyone's shoulder mobility is a little different. Definitely though, if you are doing it halfway, as I said, when you're doing the overhead press, you're kind of strengthening your scapula in a retracted position, which is going to lead to you feeling more injured when you go past it. And of course, your shoulders are one of the most mobile parts of your body. You want to make sure that you're maintaining that mobility. So make sure you guys are hitting that depth. The sixth press that you guys need to be doing is the behind the neck press. Now, this is a particular exercise that I haven't done often due to lack of shoulder mobility, which is why a majority of people don't do it, because you really have to bring the bar really low. And it does work your shoulders very well because, again, you are going from a back position and putting it more in a lengthened position. So it is a little different than, of course, the front press. But as said, most people neglect doing it due to the fact that they don't have the stability for it and also mobility. So it's definitely an exercise to work on because your shoulders are supposed to be mobile. They are the most mobile joint in the body. So practicing that and utilizing the actual mobility is always going to generate more gains. And of course, this exercise is shocking the body because I haven't done it often. And from going from a front press to behind the neck, it's a lot different. It's very good and develops your upper back and shoulders. You have to be able to bring your shoulders way back along with your shoulder blades, which again is why it is very difficult for a lot of people to do, but I definitely recommend doing it. I did this one, guys, and I don't know if it's because I did it nearing the end of my workout, but I definitely felt the most stimulus from this particular exercise. And no, my shoulders were not sore the next day, but of course, the first time you guys do this, I would recommend just using a bar or even lighter than the bar. Just do it, get the motion down, and make sure that you have the mobility for it. Seventh and final press that you guys need to be doing is a Viking press. Now, firstly, I want to show you guys how I set it up. So you put two barbells, two plates wedged in between the hammer strength bar to make sure it's secured on the one side there. It's also lowered than the other side. So this other side here that we're looking at right now, I have two barbells with just the individual 25s in which I side that I'm going to be lifting from. So that side's a little heavier, or rather raised. But this exercise, all in all, guys, is a great exercise, and one of which I have never done. There's a couple that I haven't done, but this one in particular, I have never even touched. Now, typically there is a bit of a handle that you have for this, but my gym doesn't have it, and majority of gyms don't. So I had to make a little alternation by doing what I did there with just the barbells. Took a bit to set up, so I mean, it took a little longer than what I would really want it to, per se. But I mean, I had to do it for the video. So I mean, I would like to do this exercise again, but just the whole setup, all in all, isn't good. But this exercise in particular is good because it doesn't stress the lower back as much because the weight is arcing forward. So I mean, you get to get really under it and push it right above your head, and your body does move forward a little bit in this, and it's just naturally because of the way the bar is. And it's good because it really does feel natural for the shoulders, and out of all the exercises, it does feel the most natural. And all around, I really like this exercise. But again, guys, it does take a bit to set up. So I mean, if you don't have a lot of time, it definitely doesn't equate to, you know, you needing to do it. But if you do have time to do it, I do recommend doing it. It's a good exercise. Give it a try. It's one that I've never done. I was getting a lot of eyes on me for this particular exercise, but I did, like I said, feel a very good connection with it. It felt like it was just moving right with my body. So definitely try this out, but of course, build up the weight and set it up correctly. Make sure you guys have the right weights there so you have the balancing, because last thing I want is the bar to fall over. So check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys smash the like button. Drop a comment down below which of these you like most, along with if you're gonna if you have tried them before, because there are some in this that I haven't even tried before, such as the Z press, the Viking press, which was really cool to set up. Took a bit of time, but it was cool to try. I always like adding new exercises to the arsenal, especially optimal exercises. exercises, because sometimes you'll get fucking exercises that are just silly. There's a lot of them out there. We don't need to do it. I'll give you an example, actually. It comes at the top of my mind. Laying flat on the ground and hitting a press. The reason being, guys, is you're limited. If you lay on the ground, your elbows can't really go far back, and obviously, as you guys are aware, deeper you go with your elbows, the more emphasis you get on your chest. So having that position where you're on the floor, I don't personally like it. I think it's supposed to help with explosive power, but definitely not a very optimal exercise for what I'm trying to do. But definitely, guys, check out Mind Pump. Great content, a lot of informative stuff. Hit the sub button if you're new. We're on route to 2,000 subscribers by the end of August. Can we do it, guys? I appreciate the love and support so very much. Hit the post notification bell so you guys never miss a video. We got a lot of great videos coming out, one of which you guys really want to stay tuned for, which is what I eat in a day on a cut, because of course summer is here, guys. We're trying to look shredded, we're trying to get in shape, which is why you guys do not want to miss a freaking video, guys. Have a blessed day and find your impetus. Goodbye.